guys, welcome back to The Bright Side. Macy here, The Bright Side Girl, and today we're going to be doing my most anticipated releases video, part 3, July through September. So in case you missed it, I will link the other two videos I did, which were January through March and April through June. We are being so blessed with fabulous new release books this year that I'm having to do these quarterly now. I have a lot to share with you. There are a humongous amount of books coming out, especially like September through November. So the September portion of this is going to be really stacked. I am going to go over some of the synopsis or just kind of give you a general idea. We're going to try to go through this somewhat quickly, but these are some of the books that look really good, that are on my radar, that are coming out in the next 3 months. So first up, we're going to start with July. Coming out July 1st is Tenderly I Am Devoured by Lyndall Clipstone. I've only read one from this author and I did enjoy it, but I'm really excited about this one. First of all, the cover is incredible. It says, perfect for fans of Saltburn, For the Wolf, and House of Hollow. This is a moody, monstrously gothic romantasy in which a young woman must bind herself to a dangerous, chthonic demon with the help of the son of a rival family to save her family's legacy and herself from ruin. So good. Next, we have Den of Liars. Again, beautiful covers. So a young thief attempting a daring casino heist during a high-stakes tournament is torn between two warring brothers in Den of Liars. This is a thrilling new YA fantasy romance. So casino heist and a possible love triangle sounds right up my alley. We have Thrill of the Chase by Catherine Nolan. This one I believe is young adult as well. When rivals Harper and Eve are forced to team up on a high-stakes treasure hunt, sparks fly, secrets unravel, and the biggest prize might just be their hearts. Reporter Harper Hendricks is chasing a career making a story, and the legendary Blackburn diamonds are her ticket to the top. She is smart, ambitious, and definitely not distracted by the infuriatingly hot antique salvager standing in her way. So we have like a treasure hunting rivalry, which sounds absolutely incredible. Next, we have The Woman in Suite 11. This is the newest adult thriller from Ruth Ware. So this is like a sequel to Woman in Cabin 10, which I still haven't read, but I have been really enjoying Ruth Ware's writing style. She seems like the thriller for me. So I don't want to read the synopsis because I'm assuming it will probably spoil that first one that was really popular, but I know it's set on like a cruise ship and I'm sure there's like a murder mystery. Next is one I'm so pumped for. That is Predatory Natures by Amy Goldsmith. I read Amy Goldsmith's Those We Drown a couple of years ago and I really enjoyed it, and this one sounds right up my alley. I tried to get the ARC in time for my flower readathon, but I didn't get it sadly, but it's almost out. So a teen girl's dream job aboard a luxury train derails when she discovers the strange cargo being transported. A mysterious and beautiful greenhouse, but its flowering facade may hide deadly thorns beneath in this atmospheric and lush novel. Perfect. Coming out July 15th is A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping by Sangu Mandana. This is a whimsical and heartwarming novel about a witch who has a second chance to get her magical powers and her life back on track. So Sarah Swan resurrects one of the most powerful witches in Britain. Then she resurrects her great aunt Jasmine from the very recently dead. She lost most of her magic, befriended a semi-villainous talking fox, and was exiled from her guild. Now she helps her aunt run an enchanted inn in Lancashire where she deals with quirky guests' shenanigans. This is giving me The Only Purple House in Town kind of vibes, like a cozy adult fantasy, and it looks so good. Next, we have The Enchanted Greenhouse by Sarah Beth Durst, one of my most anticipated books. This is book 2 in the Spell Shop series, but this is a prequel to Spell Shop. If you're familiar with Spell Shop, it is another cozy, adorable fantasy. There is romance and magic and a sentient spider plant, and this is about how the sentient spider plant came to be and the witch that created it. So we're all very excited for this one. It looks like it's going to be amazing. Next is Girl in the Creek by Wendy N. Wagner. This is an atmospheric and eerie story about a Pacific Northwest forest that seems to be devouring all who enter it. Perfect for fall. Exactly the kind of thing I love. This next one I talked about in my mermaid slash seafaring book new release video, where I talk about all of the new releases that have pirates and mermaids and islands in them. So make sure to go and check that out if you want some more of those types of recommendations. But we have In the Veins of Drowning by Callie Cassidy. Imogen Nell is in hiding from a cruel kingdom that believes sirens are monstrous blood-hungry creatures, hiding from a king and his captain who viciously hunt her kind, hiding from her own alluring ability. By keeping herself from the sea, Imogen's bloodlust is dulled and her black wings remain hidden beneath her skin. Fateless by Julie Kagawa. I always say her name wrong. A new one from her. I haven't read any of her books yet, but I've heard they're amazing. Deep in the forgotten city of the Deathless Kings, an ancient relic of untold power waits for one bold enough to steal it. Looks very, very cool. Coming out July 22nd, The Library at Hellebore by Cassandra Kah. This is a deeply dark academic novel for those that are fans of A Deadly Education and Atlas VI. The Hellebore Technical Institute for the Gifted is the premier academy for the dangerously antichrists and Ragnaroks, the world eaters and the apocalypse makers. Hellebore promises redemption, acceptance, and a normal life after graduation. At least that's what Alessa is told when she is kidnapped and forcibly enrolled. Spooky and awesome. Arcana Academy from Elise Kova, who's one of my favorite indie authors of all time. This is a new one from her. A woman who wields magical tarot cards lands herself in a false engagement with the headmaster of a mysterious academy in this first installment of enthralling fantasy romance. So we have like dark academia fantasy, and I really always love her romances. Coming out July 29th is A Theory of Dreaming by Ava Reed. This is the second book in a study in drowning, so I don't want to give that one away. It's about a girl that's headed to her favorite late author's house, write a story on her, I believe, to possibly win the estate. I can't entirely remember, but there's like seaside vibes to it. There's a little romance, there's a mystery they're trying to solve, and this is the second book. Next we have Immortal Consequences by Ivy Marie. I actually pre-ordered this one way back in January before I knew about all the amazing releases that were coming out because it looks so beautiful. So 6 students at Blackwood Academy, an enigmatic boarding school located at the edge of the afterlife, must compete for the once in the eternity chance to change their fate or risk remaining stuck in purgatory forever. So I think there's vampires in here as well, but I'm saving this one for fall. A Mastery of Monsters by Lizelle Sambury. Ninth House meets Legendborn in this thrilling first book in dark academia fantasy series about a teen who's willing to do anything to find her brother, even infiltrate a secret society of monsters. So lots of secret society dark academia books coming out, and I am just living for it. The Entirely True Story of the Fantastical Mesmerist Nora Gray by Kathleen Kaufman. As spiritualism reaches its fever pitch at the dawn of the 20th century, a Scottish girl crosses the veil to unlock a powerful connection within an infamous asylum in this thrilling, atmospheric, exquisitely evocative exploration of feminine rage and agency for readers of Sarah Penner, Alice Hoffman, and Hester Fox. So I think this is going to be giving me kind of loose Addie LaRue type vibes, and it looks really magical. The Alchemy of Flowers by Laura Rossaw. A woman takes a job at a secretive French garden to avoid reminders of children. There she meets a mysterious girl who needs help. It's a debut adult novel and blends the charm of the secret garden and the magic of Where the Forest Meets the Stars. So looks like a very minor secret garden reimagining, which I'm all here for. Next up is August. Let's Give 'em Pumpkin to Talk About by Isabella Pop. She's a little edgy, he's a lot of sunshine, and love's about to catch them off guard. Textile artist Sadie Fox did not sign up for this. She agreed to come home to Pea Blossom, Indiana. It was to care for her father's beloved pumpkin patch. The deal was that just for the summer she would grow a ginormous pumpkin, win the Indiana State Fair's competition, and finally win back her father's respect. Instead, a horde of wild hogs destroyed the entire patch, which is precisely when the annoyingly sexy, sunshiny next-door neighbor shows up. So looks like a cute little rom-com. I'm not sure if it's spicy or not. We're gonna check it out this fall. Salem's Fall by Rectalk Ross. I should be getting an arc of this sometime soon because I love being on her arc team. She does really fun like slasher, thriller, horror books that are like silly and campy. So this is a hotshot young attorney, an enigmatic billionaire, who's accused of murder, and to uncover the truth, she'll have to play his game and try not to fall in love with the devil. Perfect. The Magic of Tiger Castle by Louis Sachar. This is from the beloved author of Holes, presents his first adult novel, a modern fantasy of forbidden love, a crumbling kingdom, and the unexpected magic all around us. Long ago and far away, somewhere south of France, lies the kingdom of Esquivada. There, Princess Tulia is in as nearly as much peril as her struggling kingdom. Esquivada desperately needs to forge an alliance, and to that end, Tulia's father has arranged a marriage between her and an odious prince. However, 1 month before the wedding of the century, Tulia falls in love with a lowly apprentice scribe. Sounds adorable. The Deathless One by Emma Hamm. A princess murdered at the altar makes a deal with the god of death for vengeance and to save her people in this first unique romantasy trilogy. I think this one's going to be pretty spicy, but we'll have to check it out. A Beautiful Terrible Murder by Claire M. Andrews. Oxford's All Souls College, Isaac Holland is pitted against the brightest of Britain's young elite for a seat amongst the prestigious school's faculty. The Victorian era is reaching its apex, and the ancient hallways and corridors of Oxford teems with ghosts and secret societies. Looks like it's going to be like gothic, ghosty, Victorian, and those are all things I love, especially for the fall time. The Society of Unknowable Objects by Gareth Brown, from the author of The Book of Doors, which I've heard great things about. Another fantastical standalone novel in which a trio of seemingly everyday people are members of a secret society tasked with finding and protecting hidden magical objects, ordinary items with extraordinary properties. Super cool, might have a little sci-fi in it. We have Selkie by Natalie Grunder. 7 years ago, Quinn dared to transform from a seal into a human and took her first steps on land. As a Selkie, she is both a daughter of land and sea, but when a human stole her pelt, he stole her freedom as well, forcing Quinn to become his wife and bear his children. As legend tells, capturing a Selkie will bring you luck, and she became a very coveted prize. Too Old for This by Samantha Downing. This is an adult thriller. A retired serial killer's quiet life is upended by an unexpected visitor. To protect her secret, there's only one option left. What's another murder? So this is about like an older woman, I believe, that was a serial killer that is no longer doing it, but then her secrets are getting dug up, and so she might have to kill again. Very cool. Warrior Princess Assassin by Bridget Kammer. I have not read one of her books yet. So this is her adult debut. It is a steamy fantasy about 3 characters whose paths collide in surprising ways. 2 royals pushed into a political engagement and the assassin tasked with hunting them down. Very cool. Dream by the Shadows by Logan Harley. This is a Beauty and the Beast meets Labyrinth YA romantic fantasy about a deadly dream world and the shadow-cursed girl who must venture its depths to save her family. You know I love retelling, and that sounds like a really cool mashup. Hemlock and Silver by T. Kingfisher is a dark reimagining of Snow White steeped in poison, intrigue, and treason of the most magical kind. I've only read one book from T. Kingfisher, and I know it's very different from all of their other books, but this one looks amazing. This one looks adorable. My Fair Monster by Adrienne Riviera. As reigning Miss Teen Indiana, 17-year-old Corey Nielsen has looks, charm, and her family's formal wear boutique sponsorship, but her real dream is to use that success to become a horror movie scream queen. Except small Corey is struggling with ADHD without realizing it, and after missing another pageant commitment, puts her on shaky grounds with her coach. She wonders what she can possibly do to live up to everyone's expectations. Then a regional horror host announced a monster costume contest where first place guests get an appearance on the show featuring the winner's choice movie and a cash prize. So I think there's going to be real monsters in this as well. It looks super cute. Catabasis by R.F. Kuang. I have not read one from this author yet. There are 2 graduate students and they must set aside their rivalry and journey to hell to save their professor's soul, perhaps at the cost of their own. It looks super cool. It looks kind of labyrinth-like, and I can't wait to check it out. The Book of Heartbreak by Ova Seren. A Middle Eastern legend gets a magically romantic modern makeover, perfect for fans of the invisible life of Addie LaRue. A young woman must find her way to end the curse on her heart before it claims her forever in this delightful fantasy romance. I think this one might have a little sci-fi in it as well. The Executioners 3 by Susan Dennard. I really love her writing style. Freddie Geller didn't mean to get the half-rival high school arrested. She'd simply heard shrieks coming from the woods, so she called the cops like any good human would do. How was she supposed to know that the kids weren't partying? Looks like a cool, like, spooky woods story. A Spell to Wake the Dead by Nicole L'Esperance. I recently read The Depths by Nicole and absolutely loved it. So 2 teen girls must uncover the dark occult secrets lurking in their Cape Cod town to solve a series of murders and save themselves from the same fate in this twisty, witchy thriller. The Good Vampire's Guide to Blood and Boyfriends by Jamie D. Amato. This is Heartstopper meets Buffy and is a queer paranormal rom-com where a college sophomore must survive becoming a vampire and the cute boy who discovers her secret. All right, next up is September. So Holly and Nick hate Christmas. So our first Christmas announcement. When a Christmas-hating woman's brother sets her up with a fellow Grinch and it backfires, she decides to out-Christmas her date by setting up a festive battle in this enemies to lovers rom-com. Gray Flowers by Autumn Krause. I'm actually on the street team for this book, which means that I got the arc early and I'm about to start it and I'm so excited for it. It's like gothic goodness. This is a loose retelling of a mashup of Hamlet and Anne Boleyn. It is a YA fantasy for fans of House of Dragon and who love The Cruel Prince and Red Queen. Marry the prince and then kill him. Princess Madalena and her twin sister Inessa were born attached at the hand and separated right after. That's the only time the sisters ever held hands. The girls' personalities have been shaped in the Sinet family's drive to make their kingdom more than it is. Unsuspectable and loathsome, a damp place where deceit fills the palace walls like mold. Wild Reverence by Rebecca Ross. Born in the firelit domain of the Underrealm, Matilda is the youngest goddess of her clan. man, blessed with humble messenger magic, but in a land where gods often kill each other to steal power and alliances break as quickly as they are forged, Matilda must come of age sooner than most. I love Rebecca Ross's writing style, and this looks so magical. House of Hearts by Skyla Arndt. This cover is amazing. Solving her best friend's murder means infiltrating a secret society, resisting a forbidden love, and running from a vengeful ghost in this sophomore novel by the author of Together We Rot. I think there's vampires in here as well, but I'm not sure, but it looks so spooky fun. How Far I'll Go by Keila Klindal. This is part of the Twisted Tale series from Disney, where they take the Disney movies and be like, what if the villain won? What if the princess did something different? And this is their take on Moana. So excited to check it out. When We Were Monsters by Jennifer Niven, a psychological thriller about a dead teacher at an elite boarding school, the students who had every reason to want her gone, and the tangled web of rivalry and romance concealing the truth. Giving me like a kind of We Were Liars, Unsolving the Mystery vibe. It's just so many secret societies coming out. A Land So Wide by Erin A. Craig. This was one of my most anticipated books for the entire year because Erin is a top favorite author of mine. I did get an ARC for this one. I did read it. I will link the reading wrap up where I talk about this book. I think it was Hikeathon, and I did really enjoy it. It's one of the most unique books I have ever read. This is a blend of a dark fairy tale and romantic fantasy set in the beautiful but brutal Canadian wilderness. This has so many different things going on. It's giving me kind of like The Village / Little House on the Prairie for adults vibes, but there is magic, there is romance, there are gothic elements, and there's a lot to do with the forest, and such a great atmosphere. Play Nice by Rachel Harrison. I read her vampire novel last year and I did enjoy her writing style, so I want to check this one out, plus the cover is so fun. A woman must confront the demons of her past when she attempts to fix up her childhood home, a devilishly clever take on a haunted house novel. Her books are always kind of fun as well, so very pumped for this. The House of Quiet by Kirsten White, another one of my favorite authors. To save her sister, she must enter the house. In the middle of a deadly bog sits the House of Quiet. It's a place for children whose procedure triggered powers too terrible to be lived with. Their last hope for treatment. No one knows how they're healed or where they go afterwards. So a little bit of like a haunted house spooky situation. This is her first YA novel in a little bit, and really excited for it. Song of the Hell Witch by Taylor Hartley. Once a vicious street rat, Prudence Merriweather has clawed her way up to the top of society and now enjoys newfound power as the Duchess of Talinsbury. All she has to do to protect her fragile position is maintain the act of gentility, make her husband happy, and keep her monstrous magic a secret. Blood Moon by Brittany S. Lewis. 18-year-old Mira Owens grew up in Timber Plains, Kansas, hearing all about the local legend that werewolves had many years ago traveled to their small Midwest town to protect humans from the growing threat of the vampire enclave. I haven't read a werewolf book in a while, and I'm actually from the Midwest, close to this area if it exists, so that'll be really fun to check out. I Killed the King by Rebecca Mick and Andrea Hanna. One of Us is Lying meets Knives Out with beasts, murder, and magic, and this is the first book in a thrilling locked room whodunit YA fantasy duology. So that sounds very cool. It's like a murder mystery, but in a fantasy element. I've loved Knives Out, and this just sounds so fun. The Curious Case of the Midnight Spectre by Mariah Chavis. She can see ghosts, but can she catch a killer? Stoneshire, England in 1890, Lahana Polly barely escapes consumption. Now she's claimed by both life and death, fascinated by justice and why she survived when so many others haven't. She's heard news of a new murder of a fellow socialite, but the police have no leads. Never Ever After by Sue Lynn Tan, the first in a new series. In this Cinderella-inspired fantasy, life in the Iron Mountains is harsh and unforgiving. After the death of her beloved uncle, Yining has survived by becoming a skilled thief and an even better liar. When she acquires an enchanted ring that holds the key to the brighter future, it is stolen by her step-aunt, and Yining must venture into the imperial heart of the kingdom to seize it back. 640 to Montreal by Eva Jerzik. No Wi-Fi, no distractions, no way out. Agatha needs to get some serious work done on her new book. To help her, her husband bought her quiet time to concentrate, a train ticket from a 6-hour ride from Toronto to Montreal. The time aboard sets the stage for the perfect writing retreat with only a handful of passengers, plenty of snacks and drinks, and beautiful views. But I believe there's going to be some kind of murder that she has to solve. Mary by Suzanne Breen. So another Christmassy one. It looks so magical. A mother's valiant effort to bring her family the joy of Christmas goes haywire when she finds herself haunted by the angry ghost of Charles Dickens. I love love it when they have a twist like this. Uncharmed by Lucy Jane Wood. This looks so adorable. This is the second in the Rewitch series, which is like a cozy fantasy. I'm not sure if they're connected or not, so I don't want to read you the synopsis, but I know the first one was like a bookshop owner and it was good for the fall time, and this just looks so precious. The Bell Witches by Lindsay Kell. You'll want to be one until you know their secrets. After Emily's father tragically dies, she is forced to live with the only family she has left, an aunt and grandmother in the heart of Savannah, Georgia, in a house as beautiful as it is mysterious. But not all is what it seems with the Bell family. They're hiding a magical secret, so I think they're going to be like witches. I think we're going to get foresty vibes too. Holly by Adeline Grace. This is the Christmas novella that goes to the Belladonna series. I will recommend that you read all of those first. I do not believe you want to read this separate because it's going to tell you things that happen with the characters, but in like a Christmas setting, kind of similar to how Once Upon a Broken Heart Christmas novella was, and I just cannot wait because this is one of my favorite series ever. Hollow by Taylor Groth. This is a recently diagnosed autistic teen becomes enmeshed in community of outcasts harboring sinister secrets. Again, we have like a magical woods type setting and it looks so fun. Make Me a Monster by Kaylin Bayron. A modern twist on Frankenstein in this haunting new novel. So I am really pumped for this. I don't want to read too much more because the cover and just the twist on Frankenstein sounds so good. Christmas People by Iva Marie Palmer. Some people are Christmas people, but Jill Jacobs is most certainly not. She hasn't been ever since her hometown love broke her heart on Christmas Day 3 years ago. After that, Jill moved to LA to pursue her dream of becoming a screenwriter. She hasn't been home in years to avoid her ex, but this winter she finds herself back in drab suburban Illinois for the holidays. Super cute. Lastly, we have The Weaver Bride by Lydia Gregovic. This is a sweeping fantasy about a witch who must navigate a ruthless marriage competition and try not to fall in love along the way. Part twisting mystery, part thrilling romance, The Weaver Bride is unputdownable romantasy. Could be spicy as well, but it just looks so beautiful. Okay, you guys, so those are all of the new releases coming out. I know there are so many. I think there won't be quite as many in the next 3 months, but we'll have to see. I've got a list going. I always post about these on my Instagram as well. Make sure you check out those other videos if you haven't checked them out. Let me know which one of these books you're most excited for. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at The Bright Side Girl if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys next time on The Bright Side.